Greetings, 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 Africa enthusiasts. Welcome back to Be Wise African Movement. Today we're going to talk about why Black Americans are silent, centered, and spiritually aligned in a time of collapse. We are literally unbothered during this process. And I would like to say that, and I hope you're saying the same thing, that this is not our fight. This is not our crisis. And I know European Americans in this country are concerned about, are worried about how Black Americans are winning by staying silent. So we all understand the world is shifting. You see it, you hear it, you hear conversations from all walks of life. So during this shift, you'll see economically, spiritually, and politically things are changing. And a lot of people are panicking, but let's make something clear. The Black, Brown, Creole, the Native, the Moors, the Negro, the African, the Gullah Geechee, the Hebrew Israelite Americans, or however we choose to identify, because we are many tribes and many nations in America. We are not panicking. We're not stressed. We're not shaken. We are literally unbothered by this crisis. This calamity is between the Creator and the Europeans who created the system. We did not do it as a people, and therefore we cannot undo it or fix it. American Europeans must go to work and undo what their ancestors did and what many of them continue to do, because you have a lot of European Americans that are very racist today, and they believe in systemic racism and systemic racist systems. They must revisit the trauma and make it right themselves. We are chilling, we are reinventing ourselves and being our normal creative selves. So while the system crumbles, we are centered as a people. While chaos rises, we're grounded. While the world spirals, we're still. Hell, we have always been smooth as butter. So, we have to get recognition for how we problem solve and how we rise above circumstances and situations. And today, man, we cool. We just resting in it, okay? So because spiritually, historically, and intuitively, we know exactly what this moment is. And that is the reason why we are literally unbothered, okay? So Africans in Africa should learn from our tenacity, respect our fight, and value our contributions. Africa will not and cannot win without our full buy-in as American Africans. So across the Western world, we see the same story unfolding. And all of it is predicated on these tariffs that our wonderful president has rolled out. So, and from SNAP benefits, the tariffs, to government layoffs. So you'll see job losses rising, farms collapsing. ICE came in and got rid of all of the immigrants and foreign people, and some of them were even Americans. And now the farms can't operate because they've gotten rid of all of the workers. And so now the farms are collapsing, factories are shutting down, markets are trembling, and there's a lot of financial insecurity spreading across these Americas. But guess what? We're not running around in fear. We're not hitting the panic button. We're simply just resting. I encourage you to keep resting, but not because we're lazy. It's because we are spiritual beings and we're now being spiritually aligned. So this chaos did not come out of nowhere. This is the direct result of centuries of exploitation, greed, theft, violence, murder, and denial. Everything the world is facing today is the return of what was sown. And that That's why this moment is not revenge for us. And when I say for us, it's for the black, the brown, the yellow, the Creole, the Gullah Geechee, the African, the Hebrew, the more American. It's not a revenge for us. It's karma. It's correction. It's a universal balance. So there is literally a new energy in Black America. It's a quiet, it's a calm, and a stillness. And quite frankly, it's a peace and a happiness of anticipation of restoration. You can sense it, you can feel it, the energy is thick. And we know it because we are spiritual beings. And so this silence is not a withdrawal from what's happening in the world. It's not passive at all. And it's definitely not fear. It is our power. It is the essence of who we are. So we're standing in our power. We're not fighting a lost cause. And I think many of us struggle with the fact when Kamala Harris was running for president, and she did a heck of a job on her campaign. There's no way she should have lost that presidency. She shouldn't have lost it. And so many of us kind of had the air popped out of us. So we said, we're not going to fight in this systemic system anymore. We're going to build. We're going to silently make moves. We're going to develop. And so that momentum is what you're still experiencing today. The job loss it didn't really impact us negatively because we've been there, we've done that. And so we can write a book on survival in this country. So Black Americans already understand what time it is. It's because spiritually, we can feel the shift. Generationally, we understand it. And historically, we've lived it and we still live it every day. But the difference is today is that we have peace. There's a knowing in our spirit that this too shall pass. We are unbothered by this situation, literally unbothered. So what the world is experiencing today is the political chaos, economic collapse, social instability. It is the inevitable result of centuries of oppression against African and indigenous people in America. And yet here we are, standing, bold, tall, proud, happy. We are aware, we are stable, and again, unbothered. So for 400 years, we carried America on our backs. We built the economy. We built the agriculture system. We built the culture, which everybody loves globally around the world. So we built the innovation. We built the infrastructure. We built the identity of this nation. We paid with our blood, sweat, tears, creativity, our genius, our spirit. And now, while systems collapse, we are resting. It's not a passive rest. It's a working rest. We are strategizing. We are protecting our energy. The gate is closed. We're no longer negatively impacted by this system. We have said enough is enough. And it is our silence that is allowing us to move forward in such a way that the laws that are being passed, they're not really affecting us. So we do not need to prove anything to anyone. We already put in the work. We've already done it. We are the really blueprint, the footprint of survival, the footprint of development and redevelopment and building. We are the footprint of forgiveness and integrity. So many of us ought to understand that and walk in the fullness of who we are. We already put the work in, baby. It's already done. So when a nation like America refuses to correct injustice, the universe steps in. America was built on stolen land with stolen labor. And you cannot build a foundation on lies without eventually facing the truth. And they see us every day. So we are the truth. Who are we? Where do we come from? You know, you can try to compartmentalize us, put a label on us, but we are nations within a nation, within territories. And I get it. I understand that. It's not that complicated. You have people all over Africa, different tribes, north, south, east, and west. In America, you have all of that and more. But when it comes to nations and tribes. So this moment is not a political moment. It is a spiritual moment. Americans, African Americans, Black Americans, Indigenous Americans, Moors, Gullah Geechees, Hebrew Israelites, Creole, baby, we feel the shift. We recognize the shift and we understand this shift. Trust me, we are spiritual beings. We're not who they tell you we are. We are more than that, and so are you. So this is why we are silent. This is why we are centered, and this is why we are unbothered. And because of that, you have other nationalities, the yellow, the red. Okay, I should have been with the black people because now all my people are being sent back home by ICE, and now they're confessing, yeah, African Americans are really the indigenous people. Yeah, African Americans have really been harmed and yada, yada, yada. But thank you so much for recognizing who we are. We appreciate you. We're not going to hate you. We're not seeking revenge, baby. We always been about love. That's just who we are. That's how we was built. And so let's be honest. It is this very same love and our stillness. It is our calmness that's scaring the heck out of white America. Because when oppressed people stop reacting, the system loses its power. Let me say that again. Because when oppressed people stop reacting, the system loses its power. So now is the moment for Black people, African people, American people, Caribbean, the global diasporan people, to find your tribe, build your communities, invest intentionally, rebuild what was stolen, use your brilliance with purpose. We are universal people, always have been, always will be. We're not meant to be boxed in or limited. So whether you return to Africa, build here in America, the assignment remains the same. Stay unbothered, build, elevate, and transform yourself. And transform us as a collective. So Africa, my brothers and sisters in Africa, on the continent, Africa, you got to wake up, brothers and sisters. Wake up. Stop sleeping. Africa must recognize this moment as well. It's critical. African nations must become more open, more collaborative, and more reciprocal of her people, those confessing to be of African descent, those wanting to repatriate and come back home. Africa must be more collaborative. And I'm going to tell you why. Because the American Black brings skills, capital, strategy, innovation, and a global experience. I'm going to tell you what we're going to bring to the table. Again, the American African will bring to Africa skills, capital, strategy, innovation, and a global experience that cannot be matched. We're not beggars. We are builders. Always have been, always will be. Not only that, we're creators. Everybody loves American culture, American music, American dance, and they emulate that around the world. It is time for that recognition and respect to take place. So continental Africans and African Americans are one people. Black Asians, Black Indians, American Africans, Indigenous Americans, we're all one people with different histories, but one future. We can only have one future, and that future is unity. Unity must become a strategy, not a slogan. So let's speak real truth. Let's just keep it plain and simple. The people panicking today are the same people who benefited from systems designed to harm us, to marginalize us, to keep us oppressed. And now, the system they built is collapsing on them. That is not our burden. That is not our emergency. And it certainly is not our crisis. We must remain unbothered, and we must rest in this situation. It's a working rest. It's an active rest. It's a growing rest. We're doing those things so when we're coming out of it, we can walk right into our destiny. We're unbothered by this crisis. It's not our problem. It's not our issue. We're walking into the future with divine alignment, divine assignment, ancestral protection, spiritual clarity, global vision, and an unshakable peace. And we will not be moved by what we see and by what we hear. We understand propaganda. We understand his story and what that looks like, and then the hurt and the harm his story has caused people around the world. So we're no longer accepting his story. We understand our story. We value our story, and we value ourselves. That is why we are sitting and resting in this place called peace. So here we are. We're more than enough. We're going to take it slow. We're going to stand in our power. We will stay calm, stay aligned, stay centered, stay focused, and stay unbothered. And you know why I say that is because the revelation and the revolution of who we are will not be televised. Okay, Ashe, my people, thank you so much. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do so. Help me grow this base, have productive conversations. Let us be creators instinctively and intuitively. Thank you so much for your time, and welcome to Be Wise African Movement.